Hello and welcome to another episode of the Small Town Tourist Podcast, where we experience and explore everything that makes small towns great. I'm your host, Abby, and today is another installment of our Summer Festival Spotlight series, where we highlight different festivals happening around Minnesota in 2023. This week, we are talking to Mayor Dave Kleis from St. Cloud, Minnesota, discussing all things Granite City Days. It was an honor to connect with Dave over this. He has been the mayor for a very long time. He's done 5 terms, 18 years. He has been the figurehead of this community, and it's a community that he is so passionate about. You can tell just from this interview, the way he talks about this town, the way he really cares for the people here. It's just incredible. So it's awesome to get to connect with him over that and talk all things Granite City Days. He said he's going to be at every single event going on over the 4 days that it's happening. It's June 22nd through 25th this year. And there's kind of like a bonus day if you consider Summertime by George the kickoff of it before that Thursday when it really starts. But we get more into that in the podcast. And there's also a special surprise coming from our sister city in Spalt, Germany for Granite City Days this year. So there's just a lot going on. It's going to be a super fun festival. And I'm so excited that I got to connect with Mayor Dave Kleis about Granite City Days. So please enjoy this installment of the Summer Festival Spotlight series on the Small Town Tourist Podcast.
So come on home, claim your throne when life gets you down. It's nice to know there's somewhere to go where folks care about you. We can't give you the world, but we'll give you a crown. 'Cause you're the queen of our hometown.
We kick it all off on Thursday, June 22nd, and that really is, it's the big event that kind of kicks it off is the Lemonade Arts Fair, which this year will be the 50th anniversary of the St. Cloud State University's Lemonade Art Fair. And so a big celebration when it's the milestone. That'll be all throughout the day, starting at 11 o'clock. That's crafts and fairs and food, all that on the campus of St. Cloud State. And then at Ritchie Auditorium at 7 p.m., we have what's the opening ceremony. So I give out some awards to some special individuals and some organizations. We have usually some entertainment to start it off, and then the St. Cloud Symphony plays on stage there at the Ritchie Auditorium that evening. And then the next morning or next day, we anticipate or expect people Friday just to kind of get ready and enjoy the community, the trails, the 99 parks, and the Mississippi River. And then that night we have what's called the Liberty Block Party. Liberty Bank has hosted that for a number of years, and that will feature Herman's Hermits starring Peter Noon. So folks may recognize some of his songs from the 60s, early 70s, and he'll be the special guest. Also will be the Rockin' Hollywoods and the Cowsills. They've been around a long time too, and that's at 5 p.m. free concert at Whitney Park. That's in the evening on Friday the 23rd. And then Saturday, we have a softball tournament in the morning at Whitney Sports Complex, and then the Downtown Grand Parade. That's at 10 a.m. on Saturday the 24th. It's the Granite City Days Parade. It goes from the library down the historic downtown on St. Germain, and then takes a left on 6th and goes down to ends at the hospital. And that will be 10 a.m. And then we have a chalk river walk, so kids can do some chalk work along. That's sponsored by the Downtown Alliance. That'll be at 11 o'clock following the parade. And then that evening at the Paramount, which is the historic theater downtown, over a 100-year-old theater that is in the heart of downtown, the Paramount will have a free play called Kumbaya, which is the Juneteenth story. Juneteenth is coming up here. It will be coming up actually on the 19th. This will be a play that's done that kind of gives that history of Juneteenth. That's at 6 p.m. At the Paramount. That is a free event. So just go to the Paramount and you can get reservations online. And then Sunday, we start with a 5K in the morning at 8 a.m. That is 5K starts right at Lake George between City Hall, which is the new City Hall. It used to be the Tech High School, and City Hall and the Lake George. That'll be a 5K, 1K run for the kids. That's at 8 a.m. And then the softball tournament continues at 9 a.m. at Whitney Sports Complex. And then at 10 a.m., we have a fishing event and fishing derby that's going on, sponsored by the Minnesota DNR. That's at Lake George, our little Lake George boathouse at 10 a.m. And 11 o'clock will be Family Fun Fest, which is just a great opportunity for families. We combine that with what's used to be called Touch a Truck. where kids can come in and, climb on the fire trucks, the recycling vehicles, the snowplows, some of our police vehicles, just kind of a Metro bus, just kind of a great opportunity for kids I always know like these big rigs and big vehicles. That's at 11 o'clock at Lake George as part of the Family Fun Fest. And then we have what's called the Fred Urin African Arts Festival. That's at 11 too, at same place at Lake George. And at 3 o'clock, kind of the closing ceremonies and World Heritage Day. This is put on by St. Cloud State University, and that's at 3 o'clock. So all day on Sunday at Lake George. You start the run all the way through the day. There's family events, there's arts, there's culture, there's entertainment, there's big rigs, lots of food, and a lot of games and inflatables for kids. And so that's the big family fun day on Sunday to kind of end the 4 days. All this is free, all open to the public. All the events are free. And, the only you have to pay for probably is if you want a snack. That's about it. But otherwise, everything is free and open to the public.
It's so amazing the amount of things that you guys can pack into a short 4-day period. It's literally sun up to sundown all throughout the back half of this week. And there's just something for everyone, which I think is really nice, from the kids to the adults. It's just a great variety of stuff.
Oh, yeah, it is. And it's, and it's in the heart of downtown, which is really cool. Lake George is a little lake. It's only a 7-acre lake, but it's small, but it's right downtown. So there's still some very unique stores and shops downtown, and the parade goes right through the heart of downtown. So it's a beautiful venue for it. A lot of great things happening. We also have a delegation. St. Cloud has a sister city in Germany, in Spalt, which is a little Bavarian town near Nuremberg. We've had this partnership where they have come and visited us and we visit them. And so the Burgermeister, the mayor of Spalt, will be here along with the delegation of 16 Spaltonians. In fact, the Burgermeister will be the Grand Marshal of the parade. So they'll bring a delegation. So they'll be here, and it's a great opportunity. If you want to come early too, we have this concert series that goes every Wednesday night during the summer. It's called Summertime by George. And that is a free concert at Lake George too on the main stage. That's Wednesday. It's the Wednesday before Granite City Day kicks off. So you can make it a 5-day event if you want to come up early.
I think people should too. Summertime by George is a sight to behold. If you have never seen it, it's amazing. The crowds of people that come out on a Wednesday night to hang out at Lake George and listen to fantastic music. It's just insane to see the sea of humanity that's there.
Oh, it is. I'm always just extremely impressed. It's been going on now for over 10 years. It's the 11th year, so it's a great event. It actually kicks off next Wednesday with Johnny Holmes Band, which a lot of people may remember. I mean, he was playing when I was in high school, so it's a long time ago.
My sister's a total Johnny Holmes Band groupie. She goes anywhere she can see them around central Minnesota. She stays busy in the summer following them around.
Yeah, well, Johnny Holmes is still performing. His daughter's kind of taken over the bulk of the act, but yeah, that is really cool. That starts on the 14th, and there'll be, of course, Summertime by George on the 21st too. So it's a great place, a great venue. Lake George is just beautiful. It's a nice little lake and a huge park right in the middle of downtown St. Cloud.
Yeah, and it's great that you guys are centering a lot of your events for Granite City Days around it too. I want to talk more about the mayor of Spalt, Germany coming over. So how did this sister city partnership begin between Spalt and St. Cloud?
It began actually, goes all the way back to 2006. In 2006, St. Cloud was celebrating its sesquicentennial. So our 150th anniversary as being a city. We started, in 1856. The three little hamlets came together and became St. Cloud. And, during that time in the early years, it had a very large German heritage. So most of the inhabitants, now 167 years ago, were from Germany, from Franconia, from the Bavarian area. And so what happened in 2006, when we were about ready to celebrate our sesquicentennial, I happened to be in Germany in a small little town called Spalt. I had an exchange student I hosted, and we were there, and I got to talk to the mayor, the Burgermeister. We were having a great conversation. I was telling about St. Cloud. He said, well, we should have a sister city relationship to help you celebrate your 150th anniversary. So they had a delegation that came that year, and we signed an agreement to be a sister city as part of that heritage and that celebration. And, we returned the favor. We sent a delegation there when they celebrated their 1,200th anniversary. They're a little older than St. Cloud.
Just a little.
Just a little. So we've had a great relationship pretty much every couple of years. We were there or they were here. of course, they were supposed to be here in 2020, and then COVID hit, and that delayed that trip to 2021, and that didn't happen until now. They were supposed to be here in 2020. They're here now in 2023. So we welcome our return to going back and forth and kind of rekindling a collaboration that really started as a way to celebrate the heritage of those settlers that were here 100 and now 67 years ago.
Well, and how wonderful that they're coming this year, because just looking at the lineup of what we got going on with Granite City Days, it is very cultural this year. We're highlighting a bunch of different histories of the people that call St. Cloud home. So it's awesome that they're making it to our neck of the woods in 2023.
Oh, it is cool. It's a great opportunity. In fact, they'll be at all the events. So it'll be really cool for them to see, a new U.S. holiday, Juneteenth. So we'll kind of have the history of that, which is we've been celebrating in St. Cloud for well over 26 years now. And so we'll also be, looking at a lot of immigration since 167 years ago. So we have when we celebrate the Fred Urin, which is the African Arts Day. And then, of course, we have the World Heritage Day, which is basically celebrating all of the heritage. There are people that have immigrated to St. Cloud from over 100 countries around the world over that 167 years. So it's an opportunity to celebrate all of that. Of course, those early years, the primary folks were, St. Cloud was named after the city of St. Cloud, France. So that's our namesake. We have a sister city with them also. But Germany, the sesquicentennial, and of course, we've got a lot of folks that have immigrated through those years. So I'm assuming when St. Cloud celebrates its bicentennial, there'll probably be another sister city in some other country where we've had some folks emigrate over the years. So it's a great way to just celebrate history, culture, and just a lot of change over the last 167 years in the town of St. Cloud, the Granite City.
Yeah, this town's a big melting pot, and it's cool that you guys are highlighting a bunch of different stuff. So I am seeing a bunch of stuff that's done with St. Cloud State, a lot of things held on campus there. Is there like a special partnership that you guys have come up with over the years to allow for that? Or is that just like, they're here, we use them?
No, there's a great collaboration. St. Cloud State celebrated its 150th anniversary not too long ago either. So they've been around for over 150 years. The collaboration has been very deep during all those years. I've said this many times, the university cannot do well unless the city does well, and vice versa. So we work together. I'm an alum myself. I graduated from St. Cloud State. I grew up in a small town of Litchfield, and then went into the Air Force for a few years, and then went to St. Cloud State and graduated in '89, and have just fell in love with the community and have stayed here ever since, and started a business. And the collaboration and the partnership goes from everything from students working and interning and in the community to the university using its professors and expertise on a number of things. But when it comes to celebrating, it's important. The campus is right in the heart of right on the Mississippi River, in the heart of our communities. We embrace that. And, when I talk about the Lemonade Arts Fair, it's always been part of St. Cloud's Festival, and it's their 50th year. So we can't separate the two. We start the opening ceremonies at St. Cloud State, and we have St. Cloud State come out to Lake George for the closing ceremonies at 3 p.m. on Sundays. So it starts and ends with the university's connection.
Two beautiful bookends for the whole weekend. I think that's so cool.
Yep, absolutely. We're very proud to have St. Cloud State as part of our community.
I'm super excited for all that Granite City Days has to offer. I'm actually going to be around this year I've been living in the St. Cloud area now for almost 10 years. And for whatever reason, the weekend of Granite City Days, I've always been out of town. But this year, I looked at my calendar and I said, I am in town, and I am finally going to get to go to some of these awesome events.
Oh, that's great. We'll look forward to seeing you then. I'm at all of them. Yeah, it's one of the things I haven't missed the Granite City Days, and even, I don't think ever. Granite City Days used to be Wings, Wheels, and Water Festival years ago before that, and it transformed. Granite industry was kind of that main industry in the late 1800s, beginning of the 20th century. And at one time, 1 out of every 4 people probably worked somehow in the granite industry. Of course, the Depression hit hard and when the market fell in 29, and of course that changed a little. We still have a lot of granite though in this area. There's no doubt about that. Cold Spring Granite, which actually started in St. Cloud, is still one of the largest granite companies in the world, for that matter.
Yeah, it's definitely a prominent piece of this neck of the woods. Like, granite is huge. It is everywhere. You can't look in any given direction without seeing it, which is great because it's beautiful.
It is beautiful, and yeah, it's nice. You don't have to ship it as far, so it's a little cheaper here.
It is, yeah. I just had it put in my kitchen.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I've been asking everyone that I interview about their festivals this summer, what is the one thing on the calendar that you personally consider to be your favorite event?
I'm always a big fan of a parade. So I think probably an American thing without a parade. I love the fact that, you bring a large group of people come out and, people, I grew up and the people still do it here. They put their chairs out the day before,
Oh,
sometimes
yeah.
a couple days before, out on the lawn. So they mark their spot. From the marching bands to folks that do a great job of decorating to the musical performances and everything else. My favorite part is always the parade. I like it all. I'm at everything. So we've got a lot of, like I said, a lot of music, a lot of entertainment, a lot of history and culture, and just great for everyone, no matter who you are. But there's just something about a parade in the U.S. that's just kind of a cool thing to be at.
But yeah, it just brings the community to all be in the same place at the same time. And there's very few things in this world that can accomplish that, but a parade is one of them.
It is, and it's amazing that I don't think there's a festival that there's very few festivals that don't have some type of parade.
I'm hard pressed to even think of one right now.
Yeah, so no, it's great. And we try to have couples. We're trying to bring back our winter parade. A little tougher in Minnesota with the winter, but we've got a wonderful winter Nights and Lights parade that kind of took a little bit of a respite with COVID and everything. But I think we'll be back again this year. But there's nothing better than an opportunity to get out and enjoy. And we're in Minnesota, so winter parades aren't bad either. You just have to bundle up a little more. This will be a nice one though, because it should be. We hope to have rain in the evening before then several times, but normally we've been. I got to knock on wood. Ever since I've been mayor, we've always had the parade, so it's always been at least usually pretty good weather in the morning, anyways. Even if a storm comes through, it usually comes in the afternoon. But we're gonna have great weather.
Yes. Got to put it out into the universe now. Good weather for Granite City Days.
That's right. Yep.
Awesome. Well, if people are looking for more information on Granite City Days, where can they find that?
St. Cloud GraniteCityDays.com, just all one word, just St. Cloud GraniteCityDays.com, or just Google Granite City Days, it'll come up. But it's the main website, so St. Cloud GraniteCityDays.com, and they can otherwise just check out city's website, or you just Google that, you'll find all kinds of information. Lots of registration, of course. You can register for the runs, and you can still get into the parade, I think, even possibly. I think today might be the deadline for that, but we always let late entries into a lot of these things too, if there's still space. But there's plenty of things and events to be at, but again, they're all free. We appreciate the opportunity to have all of this, and it's thanks to a lot of our generous sponsors, and they're all listed on the website too. So a lot of folks put a lot of their own time and volunteers and efforts, and a lot of our local businesses donate. So we're very grateful. This wouldn't happen if it wasn't for all the donations of a lot of great sponsors.
Yeah, it's truly a community event. Everyone's coming together to make this happen, which is awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me today. I really appreciate you carving out time on your busy Monday to make this podcast happen.
Well, thank you for the opportunity, and look forward to seeing you
Yes.
at the events. I'm Mayor Dave Kleis, and I'm inviting you to St. Cloud Granite City Days.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Small Town Tourist Podcast. I'm your host, Abby. Our theme song is Queen of Our Hometown by Rachel McIntyre Smith. You can find that song wherever you stream music. And be sure to follow Rachel at Rachel McIntyre Smith on all social media platforms, and check out her website, rachelmcintyresmith.com. If you're looking for more content from the Small Town Tourist, you can always check out the blog, thesmalltowntourist.com, and follow on Instagram and Facebook at The Small Town Tourist. And if you have a suggestion for another summer festival that we should spotlight this summer, be sure to send that my way, Abby, ABBEY, at thesmalltowntourist.com.